So let's dive into your fourth album on this list of favorite albums, Mark Ronson, Record Collection 2010. Why does this album mean so much to you? So I have a confession. This is the only album out of the 5 that we're diving into that I was not familiar with. I had never played this album before. I didn't actually know a single song on this album before. So thank you for introducing this to me. I went and listened to it. Why do you love this album so much?
Same thing. I guess same thing. It was time and place, very nostalgic. Yeah, a lot of nostalgia associated with it, but same thing. I think the same person that introduced me to Demon Days, Pat. He's got a great ear for music and like finding stuff that is good, but also stuff that I find him and I both see eye to eye on. And he showed me this album, and I like the album because it's a producer kind of putting his best, his own collective together. So Mark Ronson's really known for doing. He produced Amy Winehouse's Back to Black, and who else is a big one he did? Lily Allen. All Right Still, which like same thing. Like both those albums from a production value just have this like freshness, but also taking from classic Motown kind of vibe, but putting it in a just a new like an urban twist to it. I don't know what it is, but I love it. So when I found out that he actually has his own solo albums, specifically with that one, he played it for me, and there's the first song, Bang Bang Bang, that just like it has an infectious beat, really cool parts. And then as you go through the album, it's just there's so many ebbs and flows. So it's not just like one sounding thing, but it gels together in a similar kind of way, like the Gorillaz album. I'm always been into this like kind of ambiguous kind of non-genre type of music. I like Beck. I love Beck for this kind of stuff. So yeah, I found the album to be very, very creative. It definitely gave me a new love for Mark Ronson, and so from then on, like everything that he puts out, it's something that I'm definitely listening to and searching for. Other than that, yeah, it's nothing like specific that other than it, great songs, also really good, some really good artists on there, because that's a thing that he does. He'll come up with these songs, and then he'll have a lot of guests. Gorillaz do the same thing. That's kind of been my own personal goal or kind of dream to at some point do something like that. And Dare Nots was a sort of attempt at that, but it ended up turning into more of a band. But I have a whole bunch of drives full of beats and instrumentals and stuff that I've made, and then I've a lot of musician friends that I've collaborated with, and one at some point I'm still going to do it. This kind of collaboration where these are all different kind of beats, and getting different artists to sing, because that's my biggest weakness. Is I'm not great at lyrics. Melodies I'm okay at, but like the lyrics are the hardest thing. So it's, you find good lyricists with good vocals and put something like that together. And I find after hearing that album, it really inspired me to put this side project at some point that I want to create.
So you mentioned the first single, Bang Bang Bang. The other 2 singles were the Bike Song and Somebody to Love Me. I actually, again, I only knew Mark Ronson as a producer. I didn't know his actual solo albums. So I knew him as a producer going back to the Amy Winehouse album, Back in Black, or Back to Black. He actually won 7 Grammy Awards for that album. From one album, he won 7 Grammy Awards, which is so insane.
Or Back to Black?
Back to Black.
Oh, yeah.
That's so unbelievable. And Most people know Mark Ronson because of the song Uptown Funk with Bruno
Yeah, of
Mars.
course.
So that's one of the
Yeah.
biggest songs of all time. I think that single sold like 20 million copies or something. It's one of the best selling singles of all time. And
Yeah.
that to me is an undeniable hit. Like everyone, period, that hears that song is like, geez, that
Yeah.
might be the best song I've ever heard.
Play it on the wedding and everybody's on the floor.
Yeah. Everyone's all about it. Listening to the album, I thought one thing that might stand out for you is almost every song has something cool going on with the drums. Now, I don't know if it's all programmed drums or if any of them are recorded. I don't know what's going on there, but I know that every song had something very unique or memorable happening on drums. Do you think that's one of the reasons as a drummer that you love this album?
I definitely listen to them, yeah, isolated and hear, like, listening to what's happening, but it's not like the first thing I'm listening to necessarily. Like, but I do know what you're saying. They're not your regular kind of beats, and that comes from the way he tends to likes to sample things, and like it's a big sampling thing, but the way he chooses his clips, what he uses to, and then builds his tracks on. He's got like a master class on it's called master. I think it's just called master class. Yeah. So
For
he's
what,
got
producing?
yeah, him producing. It's really, really interesting. And on Apple TV, he's also got like a series where he goes kind of play by play with all the artists that he's not all the artists, but certain artists that he's working with. Also very, very cool watch. But yeah, no, just a very creative mind, and that's the thing, is like when you're working with a solo artist or a band, you're producing them, you're kind of, to an extent, at the mercy of what their vision is, which is not a bad thing. Obviously, you're still collaborating. But the interesting thing about this is his solo album, is like it's literally all his ideas, and kind of, he's completely steering the ship here, making his songs and just having his buddies come in and contribute. So yeah, I think it's a great album. Definitely worth checking out for anyone that wants like a upbeat springtime kind of vibe.
So this next point is going to sound like I'm going somewhere else completely, but it ties in with this. Did you see the movie A Star Is Born with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper? This is about 5 years old.
I didn't see the movie, but yeah.
So this was a big movie, up for Best Picture. She was up for Best, I don't know, actress or supporting actress. It was a big deal. So this movie, I didn't know this. There was a song in the movie called Shallow that was the centerpiece of the movie, and then it became a massive global hit outside of the movie in real life. So the song Shallow, if I played it for you, you would know it for sure.
Yeah.
I didn't know this, but Mark Ronson actually co-wrote that song, and that song won him the holy trifecta. That song, he won for that song. He won the Academy Award, a Golden Globe, and a Grammy for one song. So man, we already mentioned that just for the Amy Winehouse album, he won 7 Grammys. Here he won another Grammy, Academy Award, Golden Globe. He might be one of the most acclaimed producers of all time. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, no, he's a definitely one of the tops for sure. On that Apple TV series, Lady Gaga is on there. Maybe that's a song they were working on now that you mention it. But yeah, she's on there working with him. So no, he's good.
It all ties together. Three final quotes from critics, and then we'll dive into your final album. So AllMusic praised the album as one of the best albums of Ronson's career. The AV Club says Ronson raised the bar pretty high by making the synth fantasy Bang 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 the lead single and placing it first on the album. But there's enough bing bang boom throughout to make the record collection feel complete. Entertainment Weekly described the album as impressively varied and added that Ronson's got the production chops to hold it all together.